So like, continue it. But my point of bringing all that up is the social engineering. Like when you go into the Tavistock Institute and all that, like, and you find out that the Beatles actually was associated with them. Like these people research and like, man, you'd be surprised, man. Like at the end of the day, like that, just like with the guy 6ix9ine. When you listen to his music, he can't rap. He didn't, man. That nigga, he rapped like he was retarded. You know what I mean? I'm listening to shit like, and people like this shit. I'm like, how do you like it though? But that's what that show how many demons you really got on you when you could just listen to you going by a beat. You know what I mean? Like the fuck them, they don't get it though. Like that's the, I'm gonna say that I'm gonna shout it out though. Like that's like that dude Young Pharaoh that was debating with. He's not my brother, but the guy polite. He probably a Jake because he rebellious and stubborn. You know what I mean? I look at his spirit. You know, at the end of the day, but that's a nigga all day. You know what I mean? Because you content and happy with the crumbs off just eating my table. You know what I mean? You bragging on you live in Beverly Hills, nigga, but you came from the ghetto. I didn't took the time to listen to his story, but you got to remember. See, like I didn't listen. Like it's just how the spirit worked. I was around a dude and he caught a case, and now he talk about that Moorish American and I'm not a citizen and he hitting you with all this shit. But don't you get what all that is though? Yeah, he was even right. I mean, I wouldn't research some shit, but at the same time, yeah, because more like when you go into Dr. Drew Ali, he was a Mason. Motherfuckers don't want to associate that with him, but he was though. You know what I mean? Like I remember reading the book and he was a 32nd degree Mason. He was doing that little Moorish American thing too, but he a Mason. And then I was sitting up there because he done took the picture and all that. And I'm looking at the hat and I'm like, where did I see that hat from? And later that day I end up seeing the commercial with the Shriners. But they don't even get like it's more than just 33 levels of masonry. That shit go up to like 90 degrees. But people don't know a lot of shit. They just think they know. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, yeah, you might see a YouTube video where a dude get to breaking down like you can't do this and you can't do that. That's kind of like because I've seen videos where a motherfucker go in the courtroom and do that same shit and they grab his dumb ass and put him locked up. So at the end of that, listen, know why that some people get away with it and some don't? Because it's kind of like I remember one time I was fucking with this Edomite on helping him with this house. You know what I'm saying? We get pulled over. He try and go pull out. His father was a policeman. He tried to pull out his father's police card or the courtesy card thing. He did it too late though, because you supposed to have it. You know, that's all that Masonic shit. You supposed to have it as soon as they come up. When they actually your ID, you slide in there with it. He was too slow with it. Dude went to the car with the ID. He come back. He ended up giving the card then. He gone back again. And then dude up there got him panicking because dude didn't he looking at him like what this mean? At the end of the day, it's because it's like all the Masonic shit. Like them dudes be doing favors for one another. If you ain't nobody, like we was just speaking on that today. Are you known in the spirit world? You know what I mean? Do you got any kind of riches up in heaven? You know what I mean? Like, do the spirits know who you are? Like, have you been putting in any work? At the end of the day, like it's a favor for a favor at the end of the day. That's why certain dudes can do certain shit and get away with shit. That's why you got like niggas like a 50 Cent could just pop up on BT without being announced, without anything. You know, it just like have you ever seen that video? And this nigga's so stupid. He up there, yeah, I'm on the 33rd level. I'm on floor 33. You know what I mean? He just blatantly saying this shit like he's just it probably is going over some of these dumb ass niggas' head. But you can't just do no shit like that. Like that's a major fucking corporation. I don't give a fuck if you who you is. Listen, the dude, the governor, Jesse Ventura, when he was the fucking governor, tried to go pop up in Alaska where they got that one military site. What did they do? You think because he's the governor, they just let him in? Hell no. They was like, we don't give a fuck who you is. You can't just come in here. Like, what you talking about? Like, people just, but you get, man. So that's why I say I never really followed that shit with the 6ix9ine thing. It just was like, and that's what makes me really hate this place because you know what I mean. It's built up on a foundation of fucking lies, and just like I said, we revolved right back around to this main scripture, Luke 8:17. For nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest. You can't do nothing in the dark. You know what I mean? Like especially no wickedness, that shit gonna come to the light. Just like with all these things that this Edomite doing. This Edomite destroying the world so he can try and control the world. You know you got to be a fucking devil, a retarded devil at that. That show you how they're not that smart. They're poisoning and destroying the world that they got to live on. What the fuck you think you going? You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Like, you destroying that air. You destroying the sea. But where the fuck? What, do you think you really gonna make it to another planet? And you really believe that Starship shit gonna work? This to show you how idiotic Donald Trump is. This motherfucker talking about we need 6G. Like you ain't even really came up with 5G yet. How the fuck you gonna get 6G? Like just and that's the kind of spirit the Most High put on him. Like for instance with Alexander the Great. Alexander the Great was so much of a demon to the point they did all that fighting and he conquered so much and he was just so much of a fucking like war hungry, and that's the spirit and essence of this fucking so-called white man. He had conquered so much and his men was so tired. He started crying because they like, fuck you, we not about to keep. They had been warring and fighting all that. I mean, you know, man, they was doing a campaign just taking over shit. Just constantly fuck. They got to the point we like, man, we cool. It's supposed to be rumored that he got tired. I mean, he ain't get tired. He was so saddened by the fact that he couldn't conquer no more. He wept. He started crying. If that ain't the fucking devil, you know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? And they said David was fighting, you know, he solidified the throne for his son, and you know what I mean? But David fought like majority of his life. He was fighting too, but like I said, they say for you to truly have peace, you got to prepare for war. You know what I mean? Like, they say that we live in a fantasy world, but you got motherfuckers really think. See, they believe in that Christianity, that slave doctrine and shit. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't people to show you how goofy people is for real, for real. Nat Turner, if you ever went and did any kind of research on slave revolts and slave rebellions, Nat Turner was, he read the Bible. He was a so-called preacher. But at the same time, do you know what gave him the inspiration to actually do that rebellion? Read in the Bible. Continuing, this mentioned Obama's administration, so I'm going to go right there. While most eugenics laws in the United States were eliminated by the 1960s, resurgence in the institution of eugenics has rooted itself within the Obama administration. Many of the Caesars he appointed after his initial election are devout eugenicists. Social engineering attempts of this administration have included health care rationing to the elderly, death panels to determine who may be too ill to keep on life support, late-term abortion, the reinstitution of forced sterilization, forced abortion, and administration of birth controls to girls as young as 14 years of age without the need for parental consent. And before I continue, I could believe all this. You'll have a 2/3 stupid ass nigga that sit up there and, oh, they just want to hate on because he's black. First of all, Obama doesn't recognize with you. That's why he quick to say, he didn't say my black father, he said my African father. You know what I'm saying? He don't even, man, I read some shit about Obama and I could believe it. And if you ever took time to really pay attention to it, don't Obama and that guy that they trying to make the president down in Venezuela, that they trying to get to take Maduro's spot, what his name, Guaido or something, Guido, they favor a lot. You know what I mean? Like I say, I would be surprised if this just like some kind of big ass science experiment. Because I read something about Obama and his, you know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, I don't know. They was like, they don't even really think that man had kids with her. Because at the end of the day, I forgot the father's name, but you know, like they was like the timelines of where they're supposed to match up when they supposed to have the kid. How is that possible? He wasn't in the States like that. He only came to the States like 2 times. You know what I mean? Like you know, at the end of the day, but they favor a lot. You know what I mean? And then they kind of act a lot too. They puppets. But I could believe that because at the end of the day, people think that Obama did so much. And I literally ask people sometimes, what did he do? What gave you Obama phone? He kept unemployment going. Like the reason why he kept unemployment going because at that time they couldn't afford to not keep it going. You know, you got a question, and I knew dudes. I was seeing dudes coming out of jail. They knew about the Obama phone. They're like, hold up, you know. People say this. They say shit. At the end of the day, you got to wonder why they're giving you something. You know what I mean? Like you got to question that. And then all the stories I heard. I know them phones is not them motherfucking phones was fucking listening devices. Fly the fuck out. Like, and then you still got them going. Like, but yeah, I can believe that. Because at the end of the day, I mean, people got killed. You got to be wicked. The state that he was a senator of. What I mean? Like that's why they calling that bitch Chirac now, right? Like that nigga the devil, man, or he the devil. Not having learned a lesson from past atrocities, progressives and our current government are still determined to create the society that they feel is best for us based on their elitist attitudes and disdain for those intelligent enough to question their motives. And that was worded perfectly because at the end of the day, it's not an issue that they want you to just be a sheeple. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, they want you to give up all your rights so they could be all in your business. But then we live in a day and age where you got the Pizzagate shit. So your same officials that are expecting you to go ahead and just sign over rights and put a camera on every corner and every like your smart TV and everything just gonna be at a monitor to you, but we don't know what the fuck y'all doing, and then y'all getting accused of being pedophiles, fucking little kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you got people just like, yo, you know what I mean? Woo. They say that the people are as the ruler is. Donald Trump sit up there and say the women love me. I grab them in the pussy and give them a kiss, and they just love me. I was like, yeah, and that's funny. I mean, but just this is an arrogant ass dude, and nobody likes a bully. You know what I'm saying? I remember times I seen bullies bully, but I done seen bully get fucked up too. You know what I'm saying? And America's a bully, and right now they say this shit gonna be ugly because you got to remember, like that's why I want that book. Are we wrong? So bad, and I can't get it for shit. But at the end of the day, Lord will I get it because I always wanted to do a video about the comparisons because people don't want to admit that this is modern day Rome. You know what I mean? When we ain't just talking about like what goes on here, because Rome was set up just like this with all the homosexuality, legalization of bestiality, there's all that old like shit. They don't want to say it's pedophilia allowed, but it is though. When you got Mambala, you know what I mean, man and boy lovers club, like what the fuck? How ain't that? You know what I'm saying? Like how on one side, that's how you know this is a completely divided, fucked up, weirdo place. On one side, you got certain people, oh, that's wrong. But then on another side, you got some people, oh, that's okay, as long as do what you want, and like It's saying scripture, can two walk together unless they be agreed? You know what I mean? How you think this place gonna stand if you got two different fractions? You got shit. You got the Democrats fight with the like, man. Unfortunately, a vast percentage of Americans under the age of 30 have been successfully dumbed down by a federally mandated public school curriculum to not possess the ability to question the government about anything. Assuming this book is written on a 10th grade level or better, consider yourself in a minority if you are understanding it. Since 90% of adults in the United States read between the 8th and 9th grade level. And I could believe that. So yeah, I'm going to read this book because this is deep. And I can believe it. And that was purposely done. You got to remember, like for instance, because 9 times out of 10, people don't go on to continue learning. You know what I mean? People get a job and they end up working that job. And now you got people doing 2 and 3 jobs just to maintain. You know what I mean? You ain't got like, I said I had, Lord Salakia. I got a sister that's always, ain't nothing wrong with having nice things and whatnot. But it's also such thing called living beyond your means. You know what I'm saying? Like, you killing yourself to keep up with somebody or what you think society want or what society deems as something. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day. And that's idiotic for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, most people, like I said, they go to school, they graduate school, they might go to a trade school, they get luck up and they get a job with the city or the state or some shit like that, and they comfortable, so like for instance with Malcolm in the Middle, if you ever seen that show, it's an Edomite show, but I watched it lightweight coming up. I ain't watch it faithfully, but it was, I mean, out of Edomite shows, I sit and watch that one. It reminded me of something, I had a couple siblings around the same age, and it was a family of three boys and a mother and a father, and it was kind of like Married with Children. I'm sure you've heard of it, or if not, go check it out. But long story short, the father basically he had a good job when he first started off, and then he met the mother. He driving a sports car, so he met the mother, got her pregnant one time, boom. Because, as a matter of fact, it was just the scenario I said. I think he ended up getting out of high school and getting a good ass job. So at that time, no responsibilities. He got a bachelor pad, nice ass house. He got like a sports car. He young, you know what I mean? He like 19, 20. He doing good, you know what I mean? And then he meet her and he get her pregnant, and he never get a different job. He just end up like, I guess, getting more seniority in that company, but he ended up staying at that same company, but taking on more responsibilities. So he ended up having like three kids. And by that time he's at the same company, but he's like 15 years, 20 years in. Because I think the oldest boy was like 15. You know what I'm saying? And he had all his kids back to back. So like one was 15, one was like 13, and one was like 11 or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So that same income that was cool when it was just one person, no, that shit ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. It's not a coincidence that we live in a society where you got dudes that actually make, 60, 70,000, damn near six figures a year, but yet still doing Uber. You know what I mean? Like, I got to go to the hospital. The lady that is like the therapist, she just want to run her fucking mouth. I'll be sitting up there, so I'll talk to her sometimes. You know what I mean? But the funny part is, she's telling me about all this shit, and I'm like, damn, you know what I mean? Like she teach too, and I'm like, well, bitch, I'm here. I'm pretty much every time I see you here all day. But I mean, and ain't nothing wrong with it. You know what I mean? Because she was talking about how she don't read books. She was like, she listened to the audio books. And I tried an audiobook. I don't like that shit. You know what I mean? Like, she was like, and people look at me like I'm crazy because I like the audiobooks. And I'm like, well, shit, you can like what you like. She was like, but it's like to me like listening to music. She was like, and I'm like, I can understand that you busy. You know what I mean? Like, you got kids, you got shit, you doing teaching it, like, so you might only had the time to actually like follow that while you in your car riding, or you know what I mean, or if you exercise or some shit like that. Like me myself, I didn't like the audiobook. But my point being is that it's not by coincidence. You know what I mean? Like, you know, Salakia. It's not by coincidence. All these people are dumbed down, and they did that for a reason. You know what I mean? Like, I guarantee you, no matter how smart you think you is, unless you in school right now, you go look at a high school student, ninth, 10th graders homework now. I bet you that shit throw you off a little bit. But they purposely did that. Continue. Understanding the extent of non-consensual experimentation that has taken place in this country is integral to understanding the arguments made throughout the rest of this book. It's bitter pill to swallow among the most patriotic and ethical among us, but a necessary topic to grasp. While the United States has been most vocal and critical of human rights abuses in other countries, we have a horrible track record ourselves that has continued until present day. And that's just showing you the hypocrisy of this place. They want to come and police everybody else shit, but you could barely, sit up here and police your own shit. You know what I mean? All the shit going on, then you want to send motherfucking. Well, I mean, that's all Bible prophecy though. But, or for instance, you want to sit up there and call us, Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, all these welfare babies and welfare recipients, and we just taking the taxpayer dollar. Like, for instance, right now, I'm not doing it. I get food stamps, and I'm living in, like government funded housing. But guess what, though? If you go look at my job history, like, I've had jobs since I was like fucking, like, 16, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, the fuck, I got, to show you how shit's so full of shit, that made me think about something. Because I remember I was working back in the day when they used to send you every year that little W-2 statement, how much you done paid into taxes this year and all that. They stopped all that. Now they letting you know, oh, well, we're doing it to conserve paper. But y'all ain't give a fuck about paper all the other time. You know what I'm saying? It's really because of the fact that shit ain't gonna be here when you expect it. Like, I already know, like, you gotta remember we live in a debt system. So therefore, you just leaving debt to your children. You know what I mean? Like, but it's I don't know because I don't want to keep this going. I might make one more video on this to get into some of the meat of this, and then yeah, I'm gonna finish these last couple pages because the next chapter going like it's like 3 pages to go into the MK Ultra. So I'm gonna stop there and then finish this. So.